Hey, Dusky Brains. Kirby here, aka Darkling Disc, and I'm alongside Ollie Depina for episode 2 of the K.O Disc Golf Show. Ollie, how you doing today, man?
Doing good. Fun weekend. Got to sunny weekend, so that's always nice. And had work yesterday, just another day. And yeah, back at it.
Nice. Yeah, it was great to see you over the weekend. Yeah, you and Roxy were cheering me on a lot during that second round. Really appreciated. So that was really cool. I want to give a quick thank you to our sponsor of today's episode. It's going to be Baka Bak Fried Chicken. I'm sure a lot of you saw the Bak Squad shirts out there. Everyone's looking really awesome. Those shirts look super sweet. So if you're in the Seattle area, check out Baka Bak Fried Chicken sometime.
Yeah, my all-time favorite chicken.
Yeah.
Go get the right now they have the spicy, really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Solid kimchi on there.
Oh yeah, definitely. The place is great. Yeah, so let's get right into our Odus recap. This past weekend was the Odus Spring Memorial. Big shout out to John Anderson and his whole crew down there. They ran a great event. It's the first event of the Pac X Cup this year, so everyone was really excited to kind of get out there. This is my second event of the year, but I kind of felt like it was my first because it's been so long since I've been out there playing. So all that practice was kind of building up just to get out for these events, and it was really cool. So, Ollie, you want to tell a little bit about like your weekend and how your rounds went?
Yeah, so I've gotten out to Delphi one other time to practice with Adam Alexander and Corey Gerber Dolan, who won FBO, by the way. Shout out to her. And so I got out there, got a good practice round in to see the course, and then this was my first time competing at Delphi. Really liked the course. I had a fun weekend. Round one was kind of like a little nervy. Hole one, I hit the first tree, kind of goes straight left and into the fairway, and then thinking I have to go and try to still save par, I threw my time lapse and it hit the tree kind of by hole two's tee pad and went straight OB. So started off with like a 5, but the next stretch, like 10 to 2 through 10, was got 4 birdies through there, so I was able to make some up, but ended the round even, just like kind of missing some putts there. Kind of those like first tournament, it did feel like the first big tournament of the year for like those nerves and stuff like that. And, you're just kind of looking around and seeing the other people around you. But I think it was just a big learning experience for me. So I was excited about that. And then round two definitely slipped away from me. It was one of those rounds where the consistency had some problems. So I was getting off the tee really well on some drives, wasn't on some other ones, made some huge putts, missed some small ones, so got some really great birdies, like I birdied hole 4,
Nice.
and which was one I
That's
didn't
great.
really have on my birdie chart, so that felt really good.
Yeah, I think hole
And
4 plays statistically the hardest for MPO because of that out of bounds on the right side. And you see a lot of guys kind of just like bleed them out left and then just kind of give it a kind of like half-hearted bid at the basket because you're worried about the rollaway and the OB behind it kind of thing. So I think you just see a lot of 3s and a lot of 4s there, but not too many 2s to kind of skew those numbers. So that's a huge get, man. Nice job there.
yeah, so it's like I can feel proud about those moments, but then just kind of have some blunders throughout the round. But Uh, I don't know. I haven't been playing too long, and I had a fun weekend and met a lot of really great people that I know I'm going to be seeing at these PAX events and throughout the year. So met a lot of people, got to talk to a lot of people. Talked to Dallas Garber's dad
Yeah.
and Chad for a long time. He's really good people. Really enjoyed that, and talked to Carter's dad for a while too. And it
Yeah.
was just cool seeing the event there. It was really greatly ran. Yeah, I
Nice.
enjoyed it.
That's great. This is your first year playing MPO, did you, or MA1, or did you play MA1 last year too?
I did around half the year in MA1 last year.
Okay.
Started in MA3 last year and
Okay.
then did some MA2 events and then kind of was like, I think I fit in the MA1 slot with when I play well, like just some of those like high rounds I've had were
Yeah.
really up there. So just trying to keep my consistency up and then so just committing to MA1 and then here and there, maybe from like unsanctioned MPO events for my club and just to compete with those guys. And I think of that as like more of me like doing my time. Like I don't really necessarily go into those weekends expecting to win in MPO, but I'm going to be playing with some of the better guys at the club and learning a lot.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. That's a huge jump from last year to go from MA3 to MA1. So honestly, just getting up there and kind of fighting at the cash line, I feel like would be like, those small successes there will kind of lead you a week after week kind of thing. So that's great, man. My round was really, really up and down. I didn't know that Justin Banks for Fairway Media was going to be out there filming round one. So that was kind of a pleasant surprise. I'm not really one to be like nervous of like cameras and that. Like I actually kind of forgot that he was there like continuously until I would kind of like turn around and be like, oh, hey Banks, like what's up, buddy? It was more just like the nerves of the tournament. Hole one, I bled my drive out left, and I was like against like the post inbounds, and then I cashed like 100 footer, which felt like amazing. But then hole
Yeah.
two, I missed like a 12 footer, which I was like, oh, okay, like what are we doing here today? So I didn't score too well on the front, like 11 holes, but the back from like hole 12 to hole 18, I scored 12 down through those 14 holes. So I absolutely shredded the back like third of the course, but that front part I just kind of like couldn't make it up and down. I felt like my drives were like kind of sloppy, and I got a little unlucky. I'm not gonna lie. Like round two, I played with Chandler Fry, and like he and I were tapping out, and I was like, 4 feet from the basket, and the chains just kind of like pushed my putt back out and dropped it down. And it's just like, man, that's just like such an unnecessary stroke to take right there. But like, also like, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just like bad luck. Like Chandler looks at me and goes, "That's just a bad basket," and kind of gave me a little pat on the back. And I was just like, what? Like, what are we doing? So. All in all, like it worked out pretty well. I finished seventh place. I shot like above my rating, even though ratings are less important to me than like winning is necessarily. And that's something that I'll stress a lot on the show is that I don't necessarily care too much about the rating so much as I do about beating the people around me and just playing up to my standards and kind of playing like to the best of my abilities kind of thing. But give a quick little shout out. I played with Mateo, the
Yep.
younger one for the first time, and kid bombs. Like he throws so far. So I played with him, and I played with Carter this weekend. And between the two of them, and I played with Asher Weidman, who's one of my Discmania teammates. And like I'm like, man, like this next level, like these next kids, like generation of kids, like they all throw so far. Like it's so crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty good friends with the little Mateo, and I've been telling him I keep wanting him to break down my form, be like, what little things could I do just get that little like further distance on there because he bombs.
Yeah,
It's so good.
he puts so much into like every throw. Like it's so he's really impressive. It was really cool, kind of just seeing him kind of go about his game. Asher too, like Asher's like an incredible player. I'm actually really excited. I'm going to go get a practice round in with him tomorrow out at Stellicum because he lives like right around the corner from there, I guess. So really excited. He's one of my Discmania teammates, so he and I kind of like geeked out about like Discmania discs for a minute, and it's cool talking to somebody like he's tried a lot of like the old Discmania plastic, and I'm definitely more on like the new Discmania stuff. So it was cool kind of like comparing bags and kind of talking about like, oh, you're using this for that slot, I'm using this, oh, you're using that, nice, that's cool. I really like these, but I couldn't find a place for it, and stuff like that was pretty interesting with him. So really smart kid, really, really good kid. Shout out to his dad, Rob, too, who's like just an awesome person. They made that second round like super fun and enjoyable. Same with like Chandler Fry, too. Like he's just a good guy, and it was kind of cool. Like him and I are both kind of like the older guys around, like on the card now. So we're kind of like joking, be like, all right, man, like let's do this for the 30+ year olds, like that kind of thing. So
Yeah, it was really cool. That was like my favorite card to follow by far. And it was really cool because I feel like the tournaments that I've done at ECD with you, we were playing at the same time. And so I don't get to watch you play and I don't get to watch those like kind of like little things happen on the card, but being able to watch you tee off and follow the card around a little bit and see like those little you and Chandler crouched down watching waiting for Mateo to putt or whatever it was, and it was cool to see. And yeah, Chandler is awesome. I was wearing my Lightning McQueen Crocs and I kept hearing ka-chow, ka-chow.
yeah, yeah,
I looked back and Chandler was liking them, so I was hyped on that. It was super cool to see him. That was my first time seeing him in person, I believe. So cool
yeah,
seeing him.
yeah. I mean, he's just like a class act, and just like overall, just like a really just genuine guy, just overall just great. Um, so a couple of things I want to kind of like touch upon, like as we're kind of doing these like tournament recaps and breakdowns, is I want to kind of talk about like what the two of us are going to do, to kind of improve ourselves going into next week of tournaments and into whatever our next tournament is. Like personally, I felt like some of my shorter putts felt what I'm going to call like yippy, as in like I was kind of missing shorter putts that I didn't necessarily need to be missing. So I'm going to be putting in a lot of reps like on the course today, really focusing on some of those shorter putts and kind of going through like more of like a distinct routine, even for, the 12, 15 footers that you don't need a full routine on. I'm going to go ahead and like force myself to go through one so I can kind of feel those out and get a little more comfortable like on those shorter putts. And I also personally need to work on some like long turnovers. I'm really good at throwing like putter shots turnover. I'm really good at throwing like mid ranges turnover. But when it came to some of those like longer like bombs where I was trying to go like 400, I couldn't quite get the disc to move left to right like I wanted it to. So that's going to be my next like fieldwork session, is really working on like those kinds of things. So Ollie,
Nice.
what are like one or two like key things that you think you need to work on going into next weekend?
The first thing that I had that we had the tournament on Saturday and Sunday. Monday yesterday morning at like 7, we went and played SeaTac and already tried to start doing some things where I really feel like I need to work on like the 7 to 9 speed area and having some more control with that. I have a couple more overstable discs in those slots that I really like, but having a disc that I can throw and know it will like just kind of those flippier to stable straight discs in that slot. So I'm not relying on a 12 speed bait. Like I was just kind of relying on like these 12 speeds to like throw it a little softer and like do this with it. And it works for a little bit, but for consistency, I think that's the biggest thing I'm trying to work on. So just like for consistency reasons, trying to do that. And then, yeah, just some putting. I think getting back into the routine of putting like every day and having like a number of putts and quota I'm trying to hit every day will when I get out there it'll be a lot. When I do have 15 footers and 20 footers, it's gonna feel like nothing and feel good with that.
Nice, that's great. Yeah, that's some great stuff to work on. I love it, man. I'm rooting for you. You're playing the Emerald City Disc Tournament on Saturday, Blazing Birdies, right?
I am. So I'll be doing Blazing Birdies on Saturday, and then on Sunday I will be at the Basket Boys first. Christian Reed is throwing the TD for this first event, Fresh Lines at South Fork. So a couple different Mandos in place, and so playing the course a little fresher, a little different than how Lady of the Logs will be. How it's a completely like do-over or like makeover of it. It'll just be the same kind of holes, just different Mandos on every hole. So that'll be fun weekend. I'm excited to have like a couple like C tiers to like go and implement these things a little quicker than I would then feel like awkward or feel like I don't know if I want to do this so soon at like if I had another Pac X tournament or if Shelton was like this weekend. So I'm not doing Raymond Syke.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to do it. South Fork Landing is such a beautiful park, and it's such a nice course that it's like when there are tournaments out there, it's hard to not want to do them. Even from like our side of it, from like the like logistical side and like running things there, like the parks department they're so great to work with. They're so easy and they're so accommodating. The fact that there's like a bathroom on site, so we have a lot of like the women that come out to our tournaments. Like my wife has even said like, hey, like I don't mind coming to your tournaments and hanging out because I know you have a restroom where I can wash my hands and I can privacy and that. That's a big deal for disc golf courses. That's a huge luxury for that place.
Yeah, I don't think I realized how important that was until I went disc golfing with Roxy, and she was like, I don't really like to go to this course because
Mm-hmm.
they don't have a bathroom and they
Yeah,
don't have this. And it's like, oh, that is really big. And so it's like how to grow the game is going to be having those things and making it accessible and easier for everyone. So I love South Fork for that. Like those, I'll go into the bathroom. There's a little heater in there sometimes too, and I'm like, oh, I love it here. I'm
yeah.
like, they do it so nice.
There's
So
like always
I really enjoy that place as well.
yeah, there's like always paper towels and stuff. And the parks department's been really cool. Like we've called them in the past and said like, hey, the one bathroom doesn't have toilet paper, and they had a truck out within like an hour or two of like bringing toilet paper out there. They just yeah, shout out to the parks department out there too because they're so great. So
So
yeah,
great.
I'll be out on Thursday painting white lines for Blazing Birdies, even though I'm not going to be there on Saturday to necessarily play in it. Um, So we're going to do a quick Raymond Psych preview. Really excited about this tournament. I personally haven't been down to Fort Selicum in probably like 2 years, to be honest. I missed out on Washington State Championships last year. I was feeling really burnt out about that time and kind of needed a few weekends off, and that just kind of lined up to be the weekends that I decided I really needed to take off. So I'm excited to get out there and play it. I played the Northwest course like a bunch in the past, and I'm relatively familiar with like some of those lines and some of those shapes and that. So I think it plays pretty well to my game because I do like woods golf. I do like hitting gaps more than I like playing just like bombers kind of thing. But I hear the rhododendron course is pretty much like wide open, like throwing a lot of like distance shots. So do you have any
Yeah,
experience out there?
yeah, I really like the rhododendron course. I think it is a lot of bombers and a lot of big shots for sure. But I think the way they have the lines in place, I think they're really fun. Like you're going around this course and you're throwing a like they're different kind of like power shots, I'd say, and like there's control within it. And if you do have like 420 feet plus in control, it's a really fun course to play. And like I think it's I not off the top of my head, I think hole 9 or one of those back holes, or you walk all the way back to the property and it there's a island hole. It's like 360 feet and it's just pretty fun. And then I like the rhododendron course a lot. I think it's really scoreable. We had our team golf finale there, and it was fun. I really enjoy that course. And then also the Northwest course just got new baskets in, so that's pretty
Oh,
exciting. Yeah,
okay.
they just got brand new disc catchers in, and
Sweet.
Lil Mateo, who's gonna be at that event, he
Yeah,
was said he was the first person to get an ace on one of the new baskets. I think it
that,
was hole 9. He said so,
that's
pretty
cool.
cool. But brand new baskets for that tournament, so that's exciting. And yeah, it should be a fun weekend.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I didn't know they had new baskets, so that's also something that I'm definitely pumped to go do. Yeah, I'm gonna get out there tomorrow. We have a like an MPO like local group chat kind of thing with a bunch of local MPO players, and I think some of us are gonna try to meet up tomorrow. Like I said, I know Asher lives like really close to there, so I'm excited to get out and do like a Discmania teammate kind of thing, and kind of hang out with him for the day. Maybe I'll bust out my yo-yo and he'll bust out his was that little ball and the stick thing that he had?
Kendama.
Kadama, yeah. So it might be cool for he and I kind of do like a back-to-back like yo-yo Kadama stick thing. So I'll chat with him, kind of see what's up with that. Um,
Was this round that you played in this weekend your first time playing with a Discmania teammate in a tournament?
it was, yeah. This is only
That's
my
pretty cool.
yeah, this is only my second tournament technically, being part of this mania, and the other one I played was like a couple months ago out at like Deception Pass, just because I don't know if you've been out there, but that place is like really pretty as well. It's a really
Yeah,
nice like ball
I've
golf
heard, I've
course.
heard.
So yeah, yeah, it's my first time, so that was really exciting. It was cool to get on a card with a Discmania teammate too, so that's always fun. So speaking of Discmania teammates, going into Raymond Site, looks like Nicholas Culver is going to be coming down and playing, so that's really exciting. Met him a couple of times. Seems like a really really nice guy. So hopefully I get the chance to play with him. And then it looks like Axel Olsen will also be making his PAX Cup debut. So he's a current Emerald City Discs current teammate of mine as well. So excited to see those guys. If I'm lucky, all three of us will be on the same card at some point, and there's some like cool like pictures and some social media stuff that maybe we can do out of that, which will be really fun. So
Yeah, that sounds like a sweet card. Axel's always fun to watch. It's gonna be cool playing with some more teammates and meeting that and hopefully getting on a card with them. That'd be ideal.
yeah, it'd be really really sweet for sure, especially if it's like round two and we're all shooting hot. So or round three, I guess, because we're doing 2 rounds in one day and then 1 round on Sunday too. So I haven't done a tournament quite like that in a while. So should be fun, should be interesting. So all right, we're gonna keep it rolling and get right into our Jonesboro recap. Here on the KO Disc Golf Show, probably not going to talk too much about like Pro Tour and like that kind of stuff. We're really focused here on like the Washington scene. But we might give a quick recap here and there. And I really only have like one thing to say about Jonesboro, and it's that AB is inevitable. He is so good, it's unbelievable. I don't really think that there's many people in the game that can really like keep up with him when he's playing not only like his best, but just like playing well. Like
Yeah.
Gannon's really the only other guy, and I think AB is just he's so incredibly good. It just looks so like natural out of him, kind of thing. Like everything he does is just so talented. So
Y-
um, that's all I got for Jonesboro, honestly. What do you got?
Yeah. Yeah, no, AB looked amazing. And Team Discraft in general, they had a really good showing. Ben Calloway had a top five, or he's tied for second, and then Chris Dickerson was tied for seventh. So three guys right there on Team Discraft doing really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of just feels like this is AB's year, and he's inevitable. He's the Thanos, and getting Burrs, getting the troops at Discmania to getting the Avengers out. But it's going to be a fun year, I think, as the year goes on. Calvin Heimberg and I mean, there's guys that are going to find their groove, and it's a game of runs. So find your groove, have a couple good tournaments, and there. But AB does look pretty unstoppable.
Yeah. Yeah, and then on the FPO side, I mean, Kristen, basically made it known that she's not slumping. She made it known that she's just fine, and that she is the other, like, she's the FPO Thanos. So
Yeah. Owen Scoggins in the top 10 at 10th again. Maria Oliva with a really good showing, like
yeah,
fourth place. I think that's her highest of the year, so that's really awesome to see and seeing her do well. So love seeing that. Um, yeah, excited for the year to come. I don't think Kristen, all the slump talks, I don't think it was. I was like,
no,
everyone can have a bad
no,
round or two here and
yeah,
there. It
it's
doesn't.
it was so like unvalid too, because it wasn't like she was coming in like 20th place and she's losing by 40 strokes, or she's losing by 20 strokes here. That it's like she's just like slightly off, or even like her bad rounds are still like top tens, top fives.
Exactly. They're like,
She's Yeah.
yeah.
So no, she's amazing. Yeah, I'm excited for like Portland Open, and I'm excited for Beaver State playing. That's where I really get to interact with like a lot of these people. So maybe I can give some like quick interviews or something like that when they're here. So that would be pretty cool. I'll see what I can work out in that sense.
Yeah, I gotta see what I'm doing, but last year it was definitely on my. I wanted to try to get down there and just kind of experience. I haven't been to a pro tour event in person, just as a spectator or anything, so I just wanted to watch and kind of see what that was like and follow some cards and everything like that. So maybe I'll try to get down there this year and hopefully follow around with you a little bit and hang out a little bit.
Bro, you can come down to Caddy.
That could be the move.
Yeah,
You might be seeing some KO caddying.
you gotta wear like
The
it's like
bib.
the bib that says Snyder on the bottom. I don't think they'll put Darkwing Disc on there, but it could say Snyder. So
We can make it work. I
yeah,
think that would
no,
be a power move in the
yeah,
future.
we'll figure something out there. That'll be sick. So
I'm a great
uh,
caddy. I caddied for Roxy at her first tournament, and I had the umbrella, I had the rangefinder, I had the bag on here, had some snacks. I got
dude,
you.
that's what I need. I need snacks, and I need fist bumps and
Yep.
vibes. Like that's yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. That little like subtle like not bad when I walk up, like that's huge. That little like that is I
A
do it for
hundred
that.
percent.
So awesome. So moving right along into our baseball check-in. Um, Red Sox are not doing great. We got swept by the Orioles, which kind of makes a lot of sense. The Orioles are so good, man. Corbin Burns is going to be competing for the Cy Young this year, so we kind of just ran into a buzzsaw there. But everything is kind of going about as bad as it can go. Trevor Story, our like star shortstop, who's like an amazing fielder, dislocated his left shoulder, like he's out for the year. And then just yesterday, our third baseman, who's our highest paid player, and our center fielder, who's like currently the MLB leader in home runs, although most of them are solo shots, they collided against each other, and Tyler O'Neill got 8 stitches in his forehead. So I
Oh,
don't even know how long he might be up for. So, and Devers was like already kind of like hurt, like his shoulder already hurt like before that. So our lineup that was supposed to be like the big thing and kind of just like banging runs all year is currently like looking pretty deflated, and our pitching staff, which was supposed to be like a big weakness, is actually pitching really well. Uh, it all looks really bleak right now, even though we have a winning record and everything's not awful, but it feels like it's about to get really awful really quickly.
right there, right on the cusp of
Yeah,
awfulness. I feel that the Mariners have been a little underwhelming in the pitching rotations, and little underwhelming overall, like losing the majority of the series. But got a win yesterday, 9 runs, and against the Reds. So that's always it's a good. It got my hopes up.
Yeah.
I feel like just one win, and this is the Mariners team that I like rooting for. It's like this
Hmm.
is why. 9 runs is nice to see most of the year, and I'd like to see Julio get out of this little slump of
Yeah.
his and everything like that. But it's all.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be able to get to the game on Wednesday. I work later in the night, but it's a afternoon game, so I'm hoping to get there with
Oh, that's cool.
some disc golfers and watch the game. And there's a one guy in my club who's a huge Reds fan, so it should be
Oh,
a fun one.
yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, I think on paper, the Reds and the Mariners are a really fun matchup. Like they both have a lot of like fun players, like Julio, Ellie De La Cruz. Like, I feel like both pitching staffs have a couple of guys that you're kind of like, ooh, that guy's coming out. I kind of want to see his stuff.
Hmm.
So I mean, that's cool. I hope you get out, man. I love going to Mariners games. I think we talked about this last week, but they're just overall just a good time. So
Such a good time.
yeah. All right, so to kind of round out the episode, Ollie and I are going to play a little game, something that we kind of had, kind of in the works for a little bit here. This is going to be a weekly segment that we do. If you have any suggestions for this, we'd love to hear them. But we're currently calling this the letter draft. Today we're drafting things that start with the letter A. So it's the A draft. After the draft later today, we're going to put like some polls up on some like Instagram and Facebook and them, and let us know like who picked the better list. We're gonna do a classic draft style, snake draft. So if you have pick 1, you'll also have pick 4 and 5, and then pick 8. If you have pick 2, you also have pick 3 and pick 6 and 7. Ollie, do you have any questions or anything like that before we get started? Anything you want to tell the people about this draft?
I'm excited. I haven't done anything like this. I've watched some of them online, so I'm excited. But I think there's going to be some questionable and some interesting answers. So I'm excited to see what you have to put for your A's. So
Yeah, definitely. Actually, if you wouldn't mind, really quick, would you bring up like a random number generator? Like maybe like
oh yeah.
one to like I don't know what 10 or 100, and then we'll each just pick separate numbers.
All right. 1 to 100. All right.
Sure.
You got
Okay.
your number?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go. Okay. I picked a number. You got a number?
Yeah.
What's your number?
70.
Oh, damn. I picked 63.
It was 43 was the random generated number.
All right. That means I win. I'm gonna take the
Yep.
number one overall pick. I have what I think is a consensus number one overall. And I'm excited that I got that. So yeah, you ready?
I'm ready for it. What is the number one overall
All right.
pick?
So my number one overall pick for the A draft is apple pie from McDonald's.
Oh, apple
So,
pie from McDonald's.
dude, I love these. These are so good. Um, the thing with this is that now apples are totally off the table. So we can't pick like just a regular apple pie. We can't pick like a Granny Smith apple or anything like that. So I think this is a big one. I think this goes all the way back to like kindergarten and like your childhood, like A is for apple, like just straight and forward,
Yeah.
So
Going back to your childhood, I think we couldn't be doing this draft if it wasn't for the A word, the alphabet. If we didn't have
oh
the alphabet, we
yeah,
wouldn't be able to be doing this draft. We wouldn't have these words. So my number two pick is going to be alphabet,
yeah,
and I think it overall, it's what we the first thing we learn: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Those
yeah.
different things like that. And then the third pick, I'm going to take art. So
Oh, okay.
paintings, all those different things like that, just art in general, music, could be a lot of different things with that, but art.
I love that. Yeah. I would say art was definitely it was on my board. One of the things I had considered. It was pretty far down my board. I don't think I was ever really truly gonna pick it. My heart wasn't there.
Big
Um,
art guy.
Yeah, I
Got the
see
art.
that. No, that's awesome. You said your brother painted those?
Yeah, my brother and my aunt, like I have all my family, like my whole family is like kind of family of just like painters and artists, so pretty cool. So
That's awesome.
been appreciator. I'm not as talented. I like to make hoodies and paint on those, but not as talented with like actually drawing.
That's it. Cool. All right, so really excited to get this one at number four. I'm gonna pick appetizers. I
Mm.
freaking love appetizers. I'll eat a whole meal of apps. I don't care. Mozzarella sticks, sure. Wings. Wings are a meal where I come from in Buffalo, but wings as an appetizer, no problem. Quesadillas, sure. Like,
Fries,
calamari, fries. Honestly, even go to like
onion
fancier
rings.
stuff like tuna tartare. Freaking love tuna
Yep.
tartare, carpaccio. If we want to get fancy with it, but like
Caprese.
yeah,
Mm.
dude, appetizers are just I love appetizers. So I'm excited to get appetizers. And then my number five pick, or I guess my third pick, I'm gonna go with animals. I love
Ooh.
animals. I'm a big animal lover. My wife and I have four cats. Over the pandemic, we got a couple of rats too that sadly have passed away by now. But big animal guy. We've adopted our most recent cat. Literally, like we just adopted off the back porch. He was just hanging out. We opened the door. He strolled in, and we've been best friends ever since, kind of thing. So animals. That's my number five pick.
I've had animals my whole life. I love animals. My guinea pig recently just passed away, so great
Sorry.
animal, but
Yeah.
rest in peace, Daisy. Get to shout
Mm,
her out, so that's nice.
Daisy. This episode's dedicated to Daisy.
Love you, Daisy. She was 120 in guinea pig years. She was a really old guinea pig. She lived way longer than she ever. Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
How like
Speaking of,
how long like in like
my brother
years?
did the math. I forget how long she is, but she's old. I want to say like 1 year is like 18, so it was like yeah, so she's old. She's like
Like 6 years.
8 plus years. Yeah, like around yeah 6 to 8 years.
Jesus. Oh my God, that's awesome.
So pretty funny.
Yeah. All right, back to you with the number six and the number seven pick.
With the number six pick, I'm going to go with accessories. You got
Oh,
your sunglasses, you got watches, you got hats. At the
yeah.
disc golf course, you got your towels, you got all your accessories on your bag. So
Your swag.
very,
That's where the
very
swag
vital.
comes
The
from.
swag.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then with my last pick, this was a little controversial, but since I work at a pizza place, pizza pie. That's my controversial last pick.
A
A
a
pizza.
a pizza.
Yeah, I think it's how you can look it up. It's on the Big Mario's sign. It's where a pizza. It's like
So
it's Italian.
it's Italian
So
for pizza.
I don't. We could look it up. But
Yeah. I
that's
was
my.
like,
You can throw the flag, but hey,
yeah.
it's on the sign. It's on everything.
I
It's
don't
there.
know. I'm kind of questioning this one because at that point I could have just said like $1 million is my favorite
No,
thing.
no, no. Hey,
Like
no. Look up a pizza.
or
Look up a pizza.
is it like wait, what is it? No, look it up for me. What does it say?
When
I'm
you look
curious
up a
now.
pizza, New Haven style pizza. It's a New Haven style of pizza.
Okay, I'll let it
Coal
pass.
fire Neapol. Yeah, come on.
Is
Locally
it
known
just
as
like
a pizza. It's like Neapolitan style pizza commonly found in New Haven.
okay? So and that's just like a and then like pizza. That's how you spell that.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. I mean that's
it's on the sign.
okay. I guess my next question, and I think I have an answer to this right away. But pizza's not an appetizer, right?
No.
Pizza's a meal. Yeah. So
That's why I thought when you said appetizer, I thought for a second I was like, oh no. But then I
okay.
was like, that's the
No, yeah,
entree.
that's definitely a meal. Okay, yeah, because you would get a salad as an appetizer, but then you get like a Caesar salad and then a pizza. So okay, that's fair. That's fair. Totally fair. I would say that's a weird one, just downright strange, but it's a good one. So
Hey, I work there, I make them. That's all I do.
nah, that's great, man. Okay, so I guess since this is my last pick, I can go ahead and talk about what's left on my board here. A couple of things I'm kind of tossing between avocado, aliens, and
Mm. Oh,
appreciation. And
Hmm.
I think I want to pick appreciation because I do like genuinely say to people like when they leave ECD like, hey, thanks man, appreciate you. And I actually like mean it. Like I'm like, hey, like I actually appreciate you like coming in here and shopping and like buying a disc and kind of just like supporting us as like a disc golf store kind of thing. So I think that's going to be my eighth pick is appreciation.
I like
And
that.
yeah, I think there's a level just like appreciating like the people around you and the people that kind of help you get where you are and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
I
So
agree with that.
yeah,
But aliens are pretty sick too. Just
aliens
gonna
are
throw that
super
out.
cool. Yeah.
I had the athletics on my
Okay.
and one of my favorite shows of recent is Abbott Elementary by
Oh,
Quentin
okay.
Brunson. So
Yeah, yeah,
those were a couple ones I was thinking of.
yeah. I also had aquarium because I do like going to the aquarium. Like that's something my wife and I do. Like I don't know. Like when we went to Italy, we were in Milan, and Milan had this like dope aquarium. We're like, well, we got to go check that out for a day, kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, all right, awesome. So to recap a little bit, my list is apple pie from McDonald's, appetizers, animals, and appreciation. Ollie's list is alphabet, art, accessories, and a pizza.
Yep. Let's
Love
go.
it. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna put that up on social media later. Go ahead and vote and tell us, who had the better A list. So
And then I got a short quote to end the podcast for the day. It was a great episode too. I'm excited to go through and edit this one and get it posted and everything like that. But we're gonna start off, end it with one moment does not define you. The journey does. Pete Carroll. Just a short, sweet Pete Carroll quote.
love it.
Let you think about that one for the day.
Awesome. Great doing this with Ollie. See you later, man.
See ya.